be seated.
Hello, Your Honor. This is a case of Palmer versus Palmer.
Thank you, Jerome.
You're very welcome.
Good day, everyone. Miss Palmer, you are appearing today in court with your identical twin sister, petitioning the court for a paternity test to prove the defendant is your biological father. You claim you and your twin are both seeking results of the test, but have very different hopes for the results and for the future. Mr. Palmer, you argue that it is impossible for you to be the biological father of the Palmer twins. You actually recall their mother being 3 months pregnant when you met her. You say you feel badly that the girls have believed you are their father for all of these years, but claim you know the truth, and it's time they faced it as well.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, how do you feel that the man you believe to be your father all these years denies you?
Your Honor, I'm disgusted. I'm disgusted that this is the first time I'm seeing my father in 20 years. I remember seeing him when I was 6 years old. I was playing in the backyard with my sister's father, and I ran to the front of the yard, and so happened he pulls up. Hey, twins. We run up. Hi, Dad.
Your Honor.
And he zoomed off.
Your
I
Honor,
remember at
I don't
8 years
know none of
old,
that.
him coming, him popping up to my grandmother's house. My grandmother has been in the same spot for 40 years. He always knew where we were at. He
Your
popped
Honor,
up. Hey,
I
twins
don't know
again.
none of that.
We talked to him for hours,
Not at all.
and we didn't see him after that. The last time we seen him, we were 11 years old. He said I looked just like him. We were identical to him. And now today,
Mr.
he's
Palmer,
saying that we're
what do
not
you have
his
to
kids.
say to this?
I don't recall none of it, don't know none of it. It never happened.
So are you honestly saying that
You've
never seen us before?
Never saw you.
Are you honestly saying
Never
Mr.
saw you.
Palmer, you say
that's
you're looking at
appalling.
these two
Looking at
ladies
them.
and you've
like
never
them.
seen them?
Looking at them
That
plain
look
and
just
clear.
like 'em.
No song.
Oh my goodness, that's unbelievable. You know
Never
what?
saw.
Even when it was a time when we were 11 years old, right? We came home from school. Didn't you have a big brown van?
No.
Years ago, you had a
Not
big
at
brown
all.
van that pulled back.
No.
He came to our house from school. He was sitting in our living room
Oh,
when we
my
came
God.
home. He was sitting with
There's
our
something
mother.
wrong with this
as soon
brain,
as we
Yana.
walked in, this man said, "Oh, you guys look just like me." He was sitting at our kitchen table. It's been all these years. It's like step up to the plate and say, "Hey, I made a mistake. Let's see if these are my kids."
You know,
he's
something
been
wrong.
around. He's popped up
Something wrong with
periodically
their
throughout
brain.
our childhood.
There's something wrong with their brain.
So, Mr. Palmer, you say something's wrong with their brain?
Honey, I know, Your Honor.
Or maybe
That
something's
these
wrong
are
with
not
his
mine.
brain.
How do you
Maybe
know
something's wrong with
this?
his brain.
When I met their mother, she worked at a job with my sister. They said that,
And we've known
No,
his
I was
sister
married.
for years.
I was married.
We've always seen her.
And
She
me and my
popped up
wife were
throughout our life.
separated.
Okay,
Okay, so my sister's a little troublemaker.
okay.
So she introduced me to their mother. Okay? When I met them, before I met their mother, here's number one. She's already pregnant.
My mother was a
You
virgin.
better watch out.
My mother was a virgin when she
Okay?
met him.
This is what's staying. She's already pregnant. You better watch out.
Yeah.
This before we even talked.
And
As I
start
took her
talking to a
home with my
pregnant woman.
sister, they worked together. I dropped them off. We got to know each other a little bit. I took her out a little bit.
He wined and
Now-
dined her whole family. He wined and
Oh,
dined
I
her whole
love the
family
whole
for over
family.
2 years.
So you do
for
know
over
their-
2 years.
I know the family.
family. For over
I
2
know the
years.
family. Of course. Okay. Now, after we went out a few times, the mama called me on the phone before we even touched. We never touched each other. She said, I want to call you and tell you that I'm pregnant. I said,
That's
oh,
a
yeah?
bold-faced lie.
She said that the young man that she was messing with did not want to claim the baby.
That's a bold-faced
I said,
lie.
you know, that's all right. I said, he's young. But I said, men's act like that. We always get shy. But I said, at the end, they'll come together. You know, but don't worry about it. But I said, you know me, I'm married, don't want no kids.
So, Mr. Palmer, what you're saying is that you were intimate with their mother,
But yes.
but
While
she was
pregnant with another
already
man's child.
pregnant.
And let me finish the story.
That's his
and
story.
you'll catch on.
Okay.
Now, she calls me up one day. She said, I'm pregnant. Well,
By you.
You already told me that.
You're pregnant by you.
You already told me that. Well, no. I didn't know if I wanted to be messing with you because you're a little older than me. And I didn't know if I really like you. But really, now I am. Oh, well, baby, I'm sorry.
So why did you pop up
Whatever
throughout
you
the
say
years?
is not going to convince me that you are pregnant by me. Now, believe me or not, the baby's coming 6 months. You add 3 and 6 together, you 6 months,
we
baby.
We were born a little early. We were born, I believe, at 8 months or so.
6 months
What
early.
you're saying is the twins were born 6 months after you met her.
That's right.
And
She
when
had
you
the
met
babies.
her, she told you she was already pregnant.
Before I even met her, the job was saying already, she's 3 months pregnant, you better watch out.
Excuse me, Your Honor. That's
you
not true.
submit
That's
these dates
absolutely
to the
not
court.
true.
This is a time frame here.
Jerome, please hand me Mr.
is that?
Paul.
When I met her in March.
A piece of paper that he got in his hand?
Are those the ultrasound pictures that he kept?
What you're saying is you met their mother in March
You see those babies and you didn't want
of
to be a part of their life?
1981.
Looking just like you.
And Maisha and Naisha were born
Ain't that
September 14th. Count back 6 months
6
later.
months. 6 months.
And therefore, you say it's impossible that you are their father.
It's impossible. I have 10 kids.
You have 10 kids.
I have 10 kids.
And now you may have 12?
And
Yes,
I
he
got
does
one
have
that's
12.
4 years
Papa
old.
was a Rolling Stone.
The only one that I ever had a DNA done on. And that was because I asked for it because I was 60 years old and had a baby.
Still having kids.
Oh, yes.
Still having them.
My daddy had 32.
Whoa! If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. Your father has 32 children,
That's right.
Mr. Palmer?
A
That's right.
huge family that
Yeah.
deprived us of knowing.
32.
Right.
I have a baby that's 4 years old. And the only reason I asked for a DNA at that time because I wasn't sure.
And that's yours.
That's the only
So that
one.
means you
And
make
yes,
ask for
that's
DNA for us then? Why you wait
99.99.
31 years for
That's
us to ask for
mine.
DNA? Why you
But
never
I
tried to
still
inquire
had
about
that.
us?
Because in my mind, there's no way.
This guy has told us that we look like him. This guy has been in and out of our life, period. Like
No.
years
Childhood,
have passed.
childhood.
We've
Childhood.
known this man's sister.
Never.
We've known our cousins from his side. This is the first time since she got in contact with this man, my sister, that this man has said we're not his kids.
And she said
And
that.
this man is sitting
And
here
she
after
have-
all
she
these
have said
years
that.
and can look in our face and sit here and say that he's not our father, and you're looking just like us.
Honey,
Like, are you serious? And then you look stupid.
I was watering
But
the bush.
You look stupid. Yeah, you
I was watering the
You
bush.
was. You
That's
was.
what I was doing.
And then you should have,
But
after all that,
believe
you
me-
should have inquired about your kids and made sure
believe
that
me,
the other two,
it'll find
besides
out.
the 10, was taken care of
But
too.
see, that comes back
That they
to...
know you too.
That comes back to this here.
We should know our siblings.
Never-
We should know our
Let's
people.
get some order, because I can't
We
understand
should know our
all
peoples.
of you talking at once.
Your Honor.
We
it
should
comes
so,
to this.
sitting here.
Mr. Palmer, I have to ask you, they have explicitly laid out detail after detail that indicates that they had a relationship with other people in your family,
Oh, yes.
and they
Of course.
treated them
Oh,
like
yes,
family.
that's quite true.
So
My
you
daughter-
understand why
my-
they think you're
my daughter here-
their father?
I have statements from my auntie. They weren't able to come here today. They had to work. But I have statement from my auntie basically saying how this man wined and dined my mother and about how they found out
Jerome,
what his
can you
business was.
get that statement for me, please?
Your-
Ms. Palmer,
your-
I'm coming to you shortly, okay?
If you go into the part of your
Okay,
auntie,
let-
your
yeah, my
auntie
auntie,
told
the
me
one who was there the whole
that you...
time.
Naisha, would you
was
like to
pregnant.
read that statement?
Yes. Okay, this
Please.
is from my auntie Desiree.
Naisha, would
she
you
was
like to
pregnant?
read that statement?
Yes. Okay, this
Please.
is from my auntie Desiree. She says they started dating in 1979 and it lasted for about 2 years. They were very much in love. He knew when she got pregnant, but she also found out at that time that he was married. When she found out he was married, he disappeared. The twins were born and he was not around. We found out he had a whole family because we got a hold of his address and drove by his house one time. We saw him with his wife and his 2 kids. He had a little boy and a little girl at the time. My sister looked through the window and saw him with his family and was hurt and left.
Wow.
So all this time,
So
this man's been
why?
whining and dining
Wow.
on her family.
Why?
And then all of a sudden you
That's
find out
cute.
after you're already 8 or 9 months pregnant that this man that you're in love with has a wife and kids.
Not
My
eight,
mother did
nine,
not
6
know that
months.
from the beginning.
Maisha, you say it was very difficult growing up without a father.
Just at the fact that my whole family, my cousins, everyone has a father. You know, we grew up without a father, and it was a void. You know, where's this man that's supposed to protect us? You know, I've been through some troubles where I was young, I wore little clothes, I was little fast, and older men would try to approach me. I remember one time when I was 13, I almost got raped by a guy. And I had to scream and holler and fight him off, which, you know, my voice scared him away. But it's like, that's where you need a father. So it's like, if you have all these children, what if that would have happened to one of them?
Oh,
You know,
I broke that.
do you ever, I mean, you had two kids that you never even
ones?
worried about.
What about killing for the ones that you left behind? What about killing for the ones that you never thought about?
I didn't leave you behind.
Disturbing.
I don't
You
know
left
you.
us behind.
I don't know you.
You're delusional.
I
Because
don't
you're
know you.
lying and you're looking in our face.
In your eyes, your blood. Let's get some order. Let's get some order. Mr. Palmer, you say you don't know these two young ladies, but you do know the young woman next to you.
That's my
This
daughter.
is your daughter. Please stand, ma'am. State your name for the court.
Kenia Palmer.
Ms. Palmer, please explain to me what you know about this situation.
Well, first of all, I know my dad has been honest. I mean, my dad's always been in my life. I'm sorry that these girls feel like my dad is their father and he hasn't been in their life. I understand their anger, but I know my dad. He's always been very honest. He has 10 kids. He's never denied any of his kids. If he had any doubt in his mind that these kids were his, I'm sure he would have stepped up to the plate. I'm sure he would have asked for DNA. He just did it with his 4-year-old. So
And when I reached out to
we
Kenia,
heard
she
about
was
it.
very
We heard, but my
receptive.
mom
All right.
told me as a kid that these were not my sisters. When I asked her, I
course
approached
not.
her as a kid.
When I reached out to Kenia, she was very receptive to say, if you need a sister, I'm here. We don't
I
have to
still
be
feel that
blood.
way.
We can be sisters. But I'm saying, I want to know my family. I want to know my siblings. If anything, I would love to know Kenia.
Okay.
You know?
Mr. Palmer, another one of your children is here today. Your son is here. Jerome, can you please bring Mr. Palmer's son in?
Sure.
Thank you so much, Ms. Palmer.
Thank
You
you.
may be seated.
Got it. I'm going to take you up to the chair next to the judge.
Welcome, Mr. Palmer.
Hello, Your Honor. How
Thank
doing?
you for joining us today.
Yes, ma'am.
We've been having testimony and discussion concerning the twins here,
Yes, ma'am.
Maisha and Naisha. They contend that your father is, in fact, their father as well.
Yes,
What do
ma'am.
you know about this situation?
Well, I've always known about the girls. You know, I've always heard through family members about the girls, but I've never been able to see them or confirm with them that, you know, they're my blood. I actually, since we share the same last name, I claimed them as my sisters. I always say what about the twins or things like that.
Wow.
And we heard that he wanted to
But
meet
your
us a long time
father
ago.
says he's never laid eyes on these two women in his life till today.
I mean, I've never laid eyes on them either. This is my first time seeing them. And he's always been consistent with his story. He's never veered from his story.
So you've never seen the twins before in your life?
Never.
But as you've heard about them, since they had your same last name and it was rumored that they were your father's children,
And
you
anything
just
is possible.
accepted them.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're a very close-knit group, family. And if, you know,
How
and
y'all
they,
so close-knit and he not accepting us?
I mean, that man has his story, and until he's confirmed,
his
you know, until
lie.
something's confirmed different, I
His
can't
lie.
see
He's
him
lied to his
veering
family,
off
and
of that.
he got to stick to that
But
lie.
he's always been there for his children, you know, like all 10 of us. He's always been there.
always.
So I'm wondering why not
if they would have
us?
ever showed up to any of the family functions, there wouldn't have ever been a problem with him speaking to them, talking to them, telling them his story, because he's never held back on this story at all. You know, but I've heard he's even had arguments with family members about this. They're saying they look like him. He's saying they're not his. You know, but his story never changed.
Thank you so much, Mr. Palmer. Maisha, Naisha, what are your hopes for today? And you've heard all of this. What are you hoping for?
You know what? I have no hopes. I'm here for my sister, to have my sister's back. I don't care to know this man. It's been 31 years, and this man has never tried to reach out or know us. We could be dead today. He don't even know that, you know? So he sit here and he deny us. I have nothing. For them, if we can try to build some type of relationship, I'm all for it. But this man, you're a liar.
How about you, Maisha?
I mean, I'm here today because I want to know. You know, again, I want to know my siblings. You know, I want to know where I came from, the last name. When I met my cousin, he said, oh, you guys know your family, the Palmer family, we have roots and I want to know where we came from.
I think it's time that you know. Jerome, the envelope, please.
There you go, Your Honor.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. Mr. Palmer. In the case of Palmer versus Palmer, when it comes to 31-year-old identical twins, Maisha and Naisha Palmer, Mr. Palmer, you are their father.
I'm sorry.
Whoa.
I'm sorry.
Whoa.
Whoa.
No.
Whoa, Dad.
31
You
years.
genuinely look
31
surprised.
years. That's crazy.
Yes.
It's a pleasure to meet you. I love you, man.
You genuinely look surprised, Mr. Palmer, and emotional. How do you feel?
Wow.
That's hippie.
Because he would have been there. He would
Without
have
a
been there.
doubt. Without a doubt.
We all would have been there.
Can you explain to the court what's going through your head right now?
What's going through in here? I was told that she's pregnant. I was told by her she's pregnant. And then to come back and tell me that she's pregnant by me, don't never do that to a man.
This man's still sitting
Never.
here lying. This
Don't
man
do
is
that.
still sitting here lying instead of being a man and just telling his family that he made a mistake. He got a young woman pregnant. You had kids by her. You should have been there. Excuse me.
watch
and
your
you wasn't.
language.
We're all adults now. Why would he have a reason to continue to lie? It's not
And he's
gonna
still
hurt us
lying.
now.
And he's
It's not
still
gonna hurt us
lying.
now.
Take it from this point.
Listen, this court is about not only finding out the truth, it's finding out the truth so you can figure out how to move forward. Can you, as a family, now that you know the truth, figure out how to get to know one another? Mr. Palmer, would you like to do that with your girls?
Oh, my door is open. I'd like you to know. So now I have 12.
Yes. I wish you all the best of luck. Court is adjourned.
Next Saturday is a reunion of all the family. Now, you won't see all the 10 kids, but your grandmother and everybody will be there.